Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the 2015 Jaguar F-Type R, 550 horsepower, rear-wheel drive, a true car legend in today's day and age and completely underappreciated.
We have had the opportunity to own this absolutely magnificent machine built by Jaguar for about the last 13 months. Today we are going to tell you exactly why you should buy it and why it is the best car we have ever had in the garage.
The past few years I've been on a kick of pretty much owning a car for a year and then selling it. That's a fun car. This car was not on my radar at all. The Jaguar was not on my radar. It was actually my son that brought it up and told me, I think you should take a closer look at this. So this is like December 2020, and started cruising the marketplace, and everything kept coming back to the F-Type. You look at the performance numbers and you can't really go wrong when you have a vehicle that's comparable to a Porsche 911 Turbo, and every supercar out there essentially from a performance standpoint with looks to kill.
So yes, the F-Type is comparable numbers wise to the Porsche 911 Turbo, but here's the big difference numbers wise compared to the Porsche 911 Turbo. You can get a Jaguar F-Type R, 550 horsepower, 0 to 60 in the mid 3-second range, 190 mile an hour top speed, under $50,000.
And that is exactly what drew me near to seeking out the F-Type. The price and the performance and the looks and pretty much everything that I came across when reviewing and researching the car pointed to why would I not want to experience this car. So back in around December 2020 is when I started searching hard for an F-Type, and what I was finding is there was some in the low $40,000 range, but there was a lot in the mid 40, and then there was a handful in the high 40, low 50. So I was going for something under 30,000 miles, and I ended up finding this one for $45,600 is I think what we ended up negotiating on. It was priced higher than that. Since that time, this was March of 2020, and the marketplace was like at a bottom for the F-Type. I saw the F-Type go a little lower after that, and I was like, oh man, it's not done depreciating. Whatever, I love this car. Until we get into 2021 and COVID prices take over. So here we are in April of 2021, and the F-Type is priced higher on the marketplace now than it was a year ago.
That being said, we obviously bought the car. Here it is, 13 months later, and it's sold. We have sold the Jaguar F-Type R, and today we are going to tell you why exactly you should buy a Jaguar F-Type R, and why we are selling our Jaguar F-Type R, because honestly, I don't know why we are.
You see, the Jaguar has matured us quite a bit in this past year. We started this journey not knowing how to even say the name. We went around saying Jaguar. This is our Jaguar, and it was sweet, and you guys made sure to let us know that we are idiots, and we appreciate that. And we went from dancing around in our videos, having a good time, to being mature and sophisticated F-Type owners. And that's what the Jaguar does to you, until you hit the dynamic button.
You're suddenly greeted with the most aggressive exhaust I've ever... Yeah. That's a factory exhaust system that'll set off a car alarm. I keep saying that this car has, it's changed us. And I think it has. This is the most refined car that I've experienced for a long period of time. Not only is the exhaust just fantastic, but it's a refined exhaust. From the interior, it's just unbelievable. The look of the car is just breathtaking.
Yeah, it's not throwing a Borla on your LS motor or anything like that. Like, it's a piece of art.
It is truly a piece of art. Driving it is a piece of art. Riding in it is a piece of art. Riding just taking a trip, it's just an incredible car.
Yeah. So obviously there's a lot of the negativity or the rumors still on the reliability of the car, and I haven't experienced anything.
I don't think that the car is unreliable.
I don't think it is either. Obviously there's flaws, there's things to look out for. You can look at some of the other videos when we talk about some gasket things that we had done under the warranty.
But looking at that stuff, if you're a hands-on type of person, since this is in the hands-on type of price range now,
it is.
You could totally do it yourself.
Right.
I mean that oil pan was, that wasn't moving engines around. That was just drop a couple bolts and the pan comes up. It's a couple of bolts and take the drive line out.
Yeah, when you get the car up on a lift and start looking at it, it's simple when you start looking at the design and everything. Obviously, it's a very sophisticated car, but it's very simple, and I love the way it's put together.
Yeah,
it's all nuts and bolts.
It's if you understand your way around a car, you can totally work on this and do it yourself. As long as you can get the parts to your house, you can do the work.
And that's a good point, because I was amazed knowing that I could go to Advanced Auto Parts
and pick up the brakes that were in stock.
My brake pad sensor, my rotors, everything was in stock, and I was truly amazed by that, because when we previously had a Range Rover, like, I had to special order the wipers because there were some goofy size. So
yeah, it was the same thing when I had that little Abarth. It was the Italian thing, low production, and you would think the same about this, but no, you seriously, you can go to your local auto parts store, get the parts.
There's gonna be things that you can't get, obviously.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to go down to O'Reilly and get an engine like you can get an LS at your local junkyard. But other than that stuff, this car, it's the best in every way it can possibly be. For a front engine rear wheel drive sports car under $50,000, I truly do not think you can get a better car.
Yeah, obviously it's a different car when you have the all-wheel drive. So I'm speaking specifically to the rear-wheel drive here, and it's just this awesome, like, masterpiece of wild and crazy and an amazing grand tour. And I keep on saying that because you can get close to 30 miles to the gallon. And another thing that's really cool about the car is just recently, I think it was Car and Driver, they came out with an article stating that the ZF transmission, the 8-speed, the one in this car, it is in other cars as well, is pretty much the best transmission that's ever been made. And that just,
it's quite good.
It goes into the experience of driving the car.
And if you go watch Chris Harris's first review on the F-Type when it first came out, he actually claims that the transmission feels like it shifts faster than the Porsche 911.
It's amazing. Everything about the car is incredible. There's some fit and finish things that you watch a lot of reviews and buttons feel weird, this, that, and the other thing. It's never bugged me. Like, I've turned on the radio 5 times in the 10,000 miles.
Well, here, let me say that differently, though. We're watching these reviews from when the car was new. That would bug me on a $120,000 car.
For sure, yep.
But this is now a $48,000, $49,000, $50,000 car, and that stuff can't bug you. It really can't in this price range.
No.
It's too good to be true.
Right.
For how good everything is.
Yeah, that is a good point. If I was buying this car brand new, I'd probably have a different perspective
if I was
on it.
spending $120,000 on this car, I'd be very upset with some of the exterior pieces. There are panels that sometimes don't align every time you close them. Yes, you can do the adjustment screws. You're not going to do that every time you close a panel.
Right.
The bumper is still plastic like it is on most cars today, but like more high-end cars, you would expect carbon, you would expect aluminum, you would expect some of the underside pieces, such as there's a plastic piece under the car and you're driving behind it. It just kind of looks cheap.
Well, you can see on the sides by the reverse lights where it like hangs down a little bit over time. So
yeah, there's just some fit and finish things I'd be very upset about on a $120,000 car.
But at the same time, I have all the luxury amenities of auto sensing wipers and auto high beams.
And this is from 2015 too, so that's some cool stuff.
The seats are probably some of the best I've ever been in as far as a comfort sports seat.
I will say the upgraded seat, there's 2 options. We have the lower option, which aren't, the other ones have like a different leather, more padding. That's what the all-wheel drive one that we had. These are a bit stiff. On a long road trip, these will get stiff. There's no doubt about it. But if you have those padded ones, best seats ever.
They have enough adjustability.
They have a
to
crap
them
load of adjustability.
that even when you start to get your seat sores from your 1,000-mile road trip or whatever, you just manipulate the seat a little bit, and I think you can get comfortable. I enjoyed it on a long trip.
Will not be great for a larger person.
No.
The bolsters move quite a bit.
There's not many sport seats that will be.
No, no, but I'm just letting our viewers know that are on the heavier side of America. The bolsters do move.
Or British.
The bolsters do move, however, they don't move enough for us as a whole.
Right. This definitely was not an easy car to sell. It was on the market for quite some time, and it was funny. I went as low as $43,000 at one point when I was like, yeah, I'm ready to get rid of it. That was more or less in the winter time. You don't have anything better to do than think about the next car you're going to get. But then springtime came, and I got behind the wheel and got to experience it again, and my attitude changed in a hurry. There definitely was a lot of interest in the car throughout the period of it being for sale. I would say on average I was getting anywhere between 2 and 5 inquiries a week. That's between Car Gurus, that's between Auto Trader, and that is between Facebook Marketplace. I got a lot of people, like everywhere, that were offering me $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $7,000 less than what I wanted for it. What is funny, when I moved the car from $44,000 up to $46,000, that's when I ended up selling it. This is a car for someone that wants more of a unique experience, obviously. It's going to draw more looks going down the road.
Oh yeah, this car turns a lot of heads.
Yeah, and it's got a little more personality than a lot of other cars on the road. And it's just truly remarkable, all-encompassing what it is capable of and the experience it offers.
Do you even have any dislikes over this time?
I really don't. I truly don't. And to be honest with you, I don't think I'm done experiencing the car. I could totally keep this car for longer.
Yeah, and I'm almost kind of sad that you aren't, because this car is amazing.
It is cool. I guess that's just what I do. I know I can buy another one someday if I want. At the same time, I got to put 10,000 miles on it, and I'm essentially selling it for what I paid for it.
Which is awesome.
I put $400 worth of tires into the car. The oil change was free because I manipulated that into the certified pre-owned warranty.
We have a video on that.
Yeah, with the gasket change. So essentially I've put gas in rear tires, had a freaking blast for 10,000 miles, and I'm losing the tax, essentially.
Now we're going to talk about what we're going to be replacing the car with, or at least a list of what the heck we could replace the car with, because you're wanting to buy a house now, so we're going to lower the budget a bit. So we found, let's say last summer we had a lot of fun finding the best fun car under $50,000, best sports car under $50,000, and I think we accomplished that.
I think we totally accomplished it.
I think we picked it.
We were
pick
on a hunt again.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yep.
So what's the budget going to be this year?
I don't know for sure. So yeah, we want a second house somewhere warm so we can sneak away from winter time.
Minnesota's getting quite old. As you can see, we didn't post for like 3 months straight because it was just too cold.
So that's kind of a goal in the back of our head, is getting a second house. We'll see what happens. But anyways, so yeah, get rid of this, get something cheaper. I want to get something I can tinker with more. I never really got around to tinkering with this. Yes, some people do.
Well, honestly, you haven't really owned a car that you've tinkered with that much.
Not really, yeah.
So I think that could be something really fun.
I love tinkering in the garage. I love getting my hands dirty in the garage.
Tinkering brings it down to most likely American
cars, most likely. Something with an LS.
Something with an LS, a Coyote, a Voodoo, some sort of Mustang, some sort of Camaro, some sort of
GL1,
Corvette.
maybe a CTS, maybe a Corvette, maybe a Z28. But again, every car's got COVID prices right now.
Yeah,
still.
it's wild.
So
absolutely
all
wild.
cars have gone up substantially. I mean, there was cars I was looking at when I was looking at this one that are like 5-10 grand more than they were a year ago.
It's absolutely wild. The replacement for the Camry is currently on its way.
It is. It's been purchased.
And for example, the owner of the Camry needed to buy this car immediately because prices, no joke, are going up $1,000 to $2,000 every week and a half.
Seems like it. It is quite amusing to me that because it's in that price range of high 30, mid $40,000, where there's a lot of other cars, Mustangs, Camaros, a lot of cars that people are buying for kind of their first fun toy or just their first fun experience. There's a lot of people that were inquiring about, will this make a good daily driver? And I never thought of the car that way. I don't know that it would make a good daily driver, other than you would be incredibly happy and filled with joy every time you get in the car and start going through the gears. I mean, there's no storage in the car. The little cubby in the door doesn't even really hold your phone. The cup holders are in a bad spot. They'll fit a couple water bottles, but there's not a lot of room. The center console's pretty much a joke, and the little cubby back behind the seat here is about good for a baseball cap, and that's about it. For whatever reason, everyone that rides in the car is amazed with the little silver button right over in front of your face when you're in the passenger seat. That's the glove box. That has a little bit of room. This, to be honest, I don't even really care about it. I don't care about the infotainment. I'm in this car for the experience. Yeah, the sound system is mediocre at best. If it were to work flawlessly, it would be a good sound system, but I've kind of experienced some of the vibrations in the speakers that are behind the seats that are prone to the particular Meridian system in the F-Type. You get some vibrations if you turn up the bass too much or whatever. If you have all the settings just right, it's a pleasant sound. I've used the navigation like once or twice, and for 2015 it does its job. It's got some features that are kind of fun, but ultimately I just hit this little power button right here and look at the R logo more than anything with the volume off. Would I buy this car again? Absolutely. Would I recommend someone to buy this car? Absolutely. Even if it was the V6, I think this is a very well done car that's a blast.
The F-Type was the best car that you've ever had, in my opinion, and it was kind of weird. The last two cars that you've had that we both really loved, the Nissan GTR and the Jaguar F-Type, we never did what we used to do all the time as a tradition, which is take it across the entire country.
Yeah,
and it was really unfortunate that we didn't get to do that. COVID kind of canceled the one that we do every year. We tried to plan one this summer, and lo and behold.
Still might.
Well, yeah, but not in this car.
Not in this car.
So it was pretty unfortunate that we never got to experience a road trip.
I got to take a couple with my wife, so.
Not like what we usually do.
Right.
The extent we usually do is 3,000 to 4,000 miles in a week.
Yep.
And unfortunately, we didn't get to experience that in the F-Type, and I truly am sad that we didn't get to do that.
I got to drive it home from Texas. I got to experience it, just not with you, so it wasn't the same.
Yeah, it wasn't the same.
But yeah, great car all around. Definitely gonna miss it.
I'm going to miss it a lot too. I'm going to miss walking out and seeing this sitting in the garage, because
yeah, it's a car that's fun to look at. It's fun to look back at as you walk away, and more importantly, it's fun to drive.
Yeah, definitely the best car you've had, for sure.
Yeah.
Going to miss it. Had some fun memories. I'm not gonna lie, the exhaust is what I will miss most.
It's hard not to.
It does sound quite good.
Pop, 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 pop.
But I just want to give a genuine thank you to those of you that we have gained as followers, as supporters, as we shared the F-Type with you on our channel. We are truly blessed to have you guys watching our channel, and we hope that you learned something, that you enjoyed our content on the F-Type.
And our mispronunciations.
Yeah, and our mispronunciations. we learned along the way, and
I will continue to mispronounce things.
As will I.
I'm very good at
sure.
it.
Us Minnesotans as a whole actually do that quite often.
Right.
So I'd like to just give a genuine thank you to those followers that we have gained from the F-Type, and I hope you guys continue to support us as we move forward and get new vehicles onto the channel, like my new CTS-V, for example.
Or that one right there.
Or the Lexus RC 300 that we need to make a video on still before...
It might sell again already.
Before your wife gets rid of it already. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day. Hope you enjoyed the content. Comment down below your favorite video that we ever made on the F-Type. What was your favorite? I think mine was when we, probably when we compared the two. Not the one where we compared the visual features and other stuff, but which one you should buy. I think that was my favorite video we made on the F-Type.
All-wheel drive, yeah, for sure.
I think that was the most fun that we had with it.
Yep.
And yeah, that was my favorite video. What was yours?
Same one.
Same one?
See you guys soon.
Comment down below. See you guys soon.